Okay, what up, what up? It's your girl, Mary Jane. What's up? Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad to be here today. Today, it's going to be on another piece. It's not going to be about lifts. It's going to be about being the third wheel in a relationship. And, I'm so glad that I'm here today to be able to let you guys know and talk about it. I just felt in my heart like today it came to me to do this. It came to me to go ahead and make the video about being in a relationship that you were a third wheel in, like the feelings involved, and because I don't really see a lot of people talking about like it on a realistic basis, and I don't feel like people are themselves when they talk about stuff like that. They try to sugarcoat shit, which brings me to, okay, so I did take some notes, all right? This video may be a little lengthy, so I don't know. So my opinion, this is all based on my opinion and my experience. I'm not a specialist of any sort. This is coming from just how I feel about things, how I view them, my perspective. No judgment. So this channel, I want to be able to be realistic. I want my followers to be as real as they can be. I want them to be themselves, like whoever you are out there. Like, I don't care what color, religion, creed, gender, species, whatever, like disability, non-disability, I don't care who you are. If you can relate to me, I'm going to reach out to you with my heart, with my spirit, with who I am, and try to connect to and help as many people out there as I can. Okay, so I'm not gonna sugar. I did say that. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna be myself, and most importantly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Okay, so as you see in the title, I really couldn't pick one. It was like the body never lies, which is true, and it's about a breakup. So I was with someone for the last 7 months, and I know 7 months may not seem long to you, but if you invest in something well enough, then it is a time span where you should see some shit. You should see some blossoming, blossoming, some type of payback, some type of foundation that is kind of, starting to kind of get good. You're almost into a year. So, unfortunately, things didn't happen like how the breakup happened. So the breakup happened like on the 2nd of January, I believe. And I know it's like a lot of couples breaking up. Like, I don't know what type of energy is going on, but there's so many so many narcissists, so many just ungrateful people, so many people that think about themselves nowadays that I guess the people that invest into things are counted out. So, excuse me guys, that's another thing. If I get emotional during this video, I thought that I was strong enough to make it without being emotional. So, if some things rile up some emotions, remember, Alright, so let's break up. January 2nd. For the night, January, New Year's, I woke up that morning. I just felt like a burst of energy. Like, I don't know what came over me. I just felt renewed, and I'm like, I'm ready to take on a year, like be a power couple. And I just kept asking him, like, what do you want to do about, our resolutions or anything? And, I'm thinking he going like, yeah, we're going to do this or whatever. But he was like so nonchalant about it, like, you keep on bringing that up or whatever. And I'm just like, okay. So I just let it roll over. The first day, January 1st, was just like, it came, basically we were supposed to set up to do a YouTube channel, like that was just so well, like it was well overdue. Like, we've been planning it. Finally, you know, he cleaned the room up, like set it up or whatever, so we could get our YouTube channel started together. So I was so excited when I came home. But I don't know, it was something about that night. I just kept getting these feelings, like they was so strong. Like, we was just not connected. I had that feeling about him plenty of times, and it's normally after like he leaves and comes back. It's always a come and go out of my life. He never was like stable, I'm here for you. Like, as much as he said that in the beginning, it did not manifest that way. So that night I couldn't sleep. I wound up leaving out, and I stayed out all night. I did Lyft, and didn't come back in the house until like 10 in the morning. He was still sleeping, and I got in the bed. So he was sleeping like towards the wall. His back was like towards me or whatever, and he didn't have his shirt. So I'm like looking at his back and noticed like he had a scratch on his back. I mean, and this was like the day before I found hair in his head, and he would be like, I was just with you. No, you was just with me. I picked him up like from wherever he was at, like December 31st. So he, just got with me then, but he has dreadlocks. So we're going to call him, we got to come up with a name. We're going to call him Pre-Man. So Pre-Man had dreadlocks, and you know, hair gets attached to that. You have to be like on somebody or whatever for their hair to be in your hair. And it was like almost every time he came around me, he had somebody's hair in their hair. And at first it went from, you know, I like girls with natural hair. That's all I like is, you know, natural. I hate that tracks and all this shit. So for him to have like tracks in his hair was just like, okay, why is there tracks in your hair then if you you know? And then he's like, everybody at his house where he lives has natural hair, so who the hell is this? Well, is this just, I don't know. And he never knew why he had scratches on his back. First it was him scratching, and then some of the positions I'm like, hell fucking no. Like, but I mean, for a long time I just let it ride, you know. I just let it ride, like, okay, you know, trying to believe him. And then he always just wanted me to believe in him, like, believe me, trust me. It was just something in me that just would not do it. It just kept going back. Like, every time I tried to go against my feeling, it would just go back to, no, it's something not right. No, you need to look, you need to do this. It's just something would not let me settle on just being content. So I saw the scratch on his back. That raised a red flag. His phone, you know, he would always leave his phone out and be free. Like, yeah, you can check in it, and I don't have social media. And you know, he told me he deleted his social media because once before I found when he did have social media that he was just talking to like so many different females on Instagram and on Facebook. It was just like a habit. It was so many of them. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I flipped out. I gave him a chance on that. He took the route to be like, oh, I'm deleting my Instagram, I'm deleting my Facebook. So I'm like, what? You deleted like everything? He like, yeah, like everything, the account, everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe he did that. So it just made me feel like, you know, kind of good, but then in a way like, why would he have to delete everything if he's going to do the right thing? Just don't do what the fuck I quit you doing. But it wasn't obviously that. So I found that, I don't know, something just told me grab his phone, because he was like acting weird like over his phone. Like, it wasn't, at first he left it out and down, and he just started like turning it off more. Like, it just was weird. So I grabbed his phone, and then I went to like touch it. Red flag was he had that shit off. The night before I saw it on and it didn't die. So I'm like, okay. So, you know, so I took it in the next room, and I'm not even gonna lie, like I was trying to be sneaky. I told him I was doing something else, but so I tried to muffle like the sound of his phone coming on under the mattress because he was still asleep. Like, I swear to God, she was still laying there asleep. Literally, when you heard that, hello, Moto, whatever, this nigga was standing in the doorway. It was like he did a fucking he had a teleport machine or something, like from the bed to the next room in the doorway. Like I turned around and he was right there. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And he like, why you got my phone? What you doing to my phone? I'm like, you know, trying to play it off. Like, well, what the fuck? What you acting like a ninja for? Like, you just come flip it in this bitch. Like, you were just now knocked out in there, fucking, you know, facing the wall, balled up, and now it looks like you're just standing here. I'm like, what the fuck? I knew something was up then. He like, hey, you're not gonna find nothing. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I fumbled through the phone a little bit. I looked like in his messages. I knew he was deleting messages. Like, there's no way your phone just gonna be the same every time you come back. Like, you deleting fucking messages every time you go. You fucking, before you come back, you fix your shit to make it look like it's just about me and you. Like, but after a couple days of being over here, you know it's going to snap back. Like, females going to start calling and all of that. So you cut your phone off and keep it off. And I guess when I leave or whatever is when he go to talk to them again. And I mean, I just cannot believe like somebody that you invested that much time, love, effort, like into could look you in your face and just do that shit. Like, he still wants to like argue and find out why I'm into his phone. Like, after I gave him his phone back, I was over it. But he wanted to continue like, well, I want to know why he was in my phone. Why he was in my, like, he just kept making a thing out of it and wouldn't let it rest. And that to me was like, wait, I'm about, what I'm gonna find some shit? Because now it's like, I done dropped it and you still going on with it. So I picked the phone back up, like, and started looking through it. And something just was like, go through the email. I went through the email, first of all, and just seen Facebook notification is and all this shit. Like, he never thought that this was going to happen. It was that. So once I found that, you know, I went into his messages, and then it was like chicks again, him asking them, can they come over? And all of this. So one of the girls, because he's still trying to say he don't have social media. So I called the girl, asked him about him. Was he trying to talk to you? She said, yeah. And I was like, okay, that's all I needed to know. Because right with proof in my hand, like, he is literally still trying. I just felt suffocated inside. I felt like I was about to pass out. I felt just expelled from sanity almost. Because somebody that I gave so much love, like real love to, like, looked in the eyes. Like, I remember times where we cried together, like, you know, some of the things we said, like, I held them dear. I went through the mud for this dude, like the rocks. Like, it was almost like he was a truck and I was holding on to the back of him, and he was just like dragging me along his trail wherever he chose to go. And I was there, like, to just take and endure all of that. And he did not care how much I had to endure. It was almost like, yeah, well, she gonna do this, she gonna do this. Like, almost like I was supposed to do it. And I was so upset, like, and it was almost like he didn't care. Like, he was just sitting there, like, he just didn't care. And so, you know, I did tell him, get all his shit, get out of my house. And his reaction to that was, to make a long story short, he wanted me to drive him home. After he burnt me, like, after he did that to me, and then he was saying things like, well, you cheated on me, and, you know, like, to be honest, things happened with me and, you know, two other people. One, at one point early in the relationship, when, you know, I didn't feel like it was solid. Like, we was just starting off, and he always would keep wanting to leave. Like, every time, like, I've never met a faithful dude, committed dude that, you know, is with one person that has to leave every weekend or go every other weekend. It was just like too much. It made my stomach sink, and still, like, I put up with it. Like, and then it was almost like he wanted wanted me to go against my own body, my own self. He would tell me, when you feel sick to your stomach, call me, tell me, let me know. Because he was going to come up with something that goes against that. He was totally trying to override me, my brain, my body, the way I think, everything about me. And it almost became like a competition instead of a love. And I didn't understand it. Like, we supposed to be doing things together, and it's like it became to a point where he was watching me do shit. Like, go ahead, work all day. I'm just gonna be in the house. Long as I'm in the house, he was using that. But what he was doing was probably, then talking to other females. And I believe along the line, because he left me for a whole month long. Like, did not try to see me, was not like even asking for sex. He was not. And wanted me to rest on that he was using porn. He lied so much. Like, after the breakup and just realizing how long, the depth of his lies, like, it hurt me so. Like, I wrapped my life around him, because that was my relationship. Once we moved here in August, he just wanted to go. It was like, once he knew I was good in this house, he wanted to go do him. And he made it seem like he didn't have a life the whole time. He was with different people, like multiple levels of people. And so I feel like he was a narcissist. Like, and I looked the definition up, and it says excessive need for admiration, which I do not have a problem with admiring someone or giving someone not praise, but like compliments, just something to make them feel good. Especially, you got to do something first. Like, hello, do something to make me feel like I want to do that for you. Like, I'm not just going to walk around like, oh, just because you're you. Like, do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Then he had me going against my son. Like, almost like he wanted me to change on my son so that he can reap the rewards of what my son would get. Like, I just felt that. I felt that. He had disregard for other feelings, and that's what it says a narcissist is. Disregard for other people's feelings. Like, it would be times, I was so hurt, pouring my heart out. He just was so, like, rash and just cold. Like, he didn't give a fuck. And the last, like, when he said fuck you, like, I could not. He threw a temper tantrum because I would not take him home. Like, I'm not gonna, after you, I just found out you cheating on me, because I knew that at that number, like, I just stopped, because I knew then, like, all the shit just started making sense. Like, the time we gotta be apart, like, he never erased his Facebook or Instagram. Like, he had that shit the whole time, which means he was cheating the whole entire fucking time. Like, every time he wanted to go, this nigga was going to lay some dick somewhere. Like, the inability to handle criticism, like, he would be so defensive all the time, and he felt entitled. Like, for him to feel like I was supposed to do him one last favor after he stabbed me in the back, let me know he felt entitled to me doing shit. How I felt in the situation, I felt fucked up. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was heartbroken. I felt dark. I felt sick. I felt drained. Like, I couldn't get out of bed. I didn't want to take a shower. I couldn't sleep. Like, up restless nights. Like, watching YouTube videos, just trying to, like, take my mind off of it. I got to the point where I started watching tarot videos about things, and at first the tarot videos was a little positive, then they started being like telling me it was like another person, just telling me things I know. He might be with a Leo and all of this stuff, like this person trying to seduce him, but he's gonna learn a lesson from that as well. Like, if that's the case, if all of this stuff is real. Once my last thing I did, like, I kind of prayed to Jesus, and I was like, I'm gonna leave it in your hands. I'm in the shower, like, I'm gonna just wash my hair, like, wash all of this out of me. Like, I'm just ready to be back in my power, like, take my power back, just get back on my journey, not let anybody see me and just take me off for their own reasons, because I could be a lot further in life if I didn't have these distractions and people that just randomly come out of nowhere wanting to steal your joy. Because at the end of the day, that's what happens. Like, and I'm not even gonna lie, up until last night, I still felt like, oh my gosh, like I miss him so much. And I mean, I do, I love him so much and I miss him. Like, I can't take that back. That's what hurts so much. I can't take that back. Like, I can't. And even still, like, I would give him another chance if he was to come and do what he needed to do as a man. But I don't feel like he's going to change. I don't feel like it. So, I just feel like I need to wash my hands with it, go about my life, and let him go about his. And I'm pretty sure he probably did, because I didn't remember until, like, some of the words he was saying, like, once you take me home, you'll never see me. I won't never bother you again. Like, all of that stuff was because he already had somebody else. Like, he literally waited until he got with somebody else to do that shit. Like, going down the hill like that instantly for me, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, my heart is just it was in a dark fucking place. Like, for him, he probably ready to mingle, be single, all this shit, because he was planning for it. Like, that is so crazy and insane. But I know karma is a bitch. And hopefully, if it comes back to the point where, I just be strong enough to be in a different place. Like, if I have to run into that situation again, regardless of what. So last things I want to say is, from my personal experience, what a narcissist could be or look like is someone that, regardless if they are not the best looking person in the world, they have something about them, like a feature about them that is rare. Like, not everybody has. My last two boyfriends had light brown eyes, and when I saw, like, this, when I met him, like, when I just saw him, and looked at his eyes, it matched the guy before him. I'm like, and it ran through my mind, like, please don't tell me this is the same soul in a different body. Also, they have some type of habit, some type of drug habit, some type of addiction, some type of habit, and also, like, an addiction to females. Like, they are so insecure inside that even if you pour your love into them, it's not enough. Like, they need it from every female. Like, they just need all the attention. They can't keep them eyes to themselves. Like, if they're with you, they will fucking play mind games, like eye games, looking at this female, that female. They gotta be noticed. So into themselves, like, they don't even notice you, or they don't pour water into your plant just like you pour water into them. So you could be feeling bad or rough because of I don't know what, but they won't be like, oh, it's gonna be okay, baby. And, like, all of those things will stop if they did at one point. Like, he used to cater to me a lot, massage my feet, just a lot of different things, and that shit just stopped. I had to ask for it, and even when I did, it was like multiple times, and then it would or wouldn't get done. Like, I would forget and then think about it again, like, oh, he never did it. So, just from, just the looks, they have something that is significant about them. They want to show off something, that is a narcissist as far as look to me. How they act, they probably, like, very flirtatious, just flirting with everybody, looking to see if somebody wanting to flirt. Like, they just all about themselves. So, I mean, I don't know if this helped anybody out there, but don't ignore the red flags. If your body, if intuition, if dreams, even, because I know mine's even started manifesting as deep as dreaming. Like, I would close my eyes and see him, like, with someone else, almost. Like, I would see him, like, him picking her up, and, like, it just would be crazy. I would just see it in my mind, like, what the fuck? And it would make me sick to my stomach. Like, love does not feel like that. The love that... I almost made it to the end. I cannot cry. Like, I almost made it to the end. I think it's because I'm talking about love, but I don't want to cry. So, it just does not feel like that. And one of the last things he said, like, I told you I love you. Like, what was that supposed to make everything right? That is nothing. So, I don't know, like, I did come up with a theory before, like, you know, you're gonna go through hell and back with somebody, but it just depends on who you go through it with. But I believe that the person that, because I exemplify so much love and I know it's there, it's in a world. It gotta be in this world, you know? That I thought it was a tear, wasn't a phantom tear. So I thought that it was I mean, I know that it's something that other people have, but I feel like it's a rare thing. You know, when you have love. So I feel like a person that loves you would, even though you may have to go through hell and back circumstances, they would never put you in a place to have to go through that. So let's say, you know, you do have to put up with him dealing with some, or her dealing with an extra person because of kids involved or whatever. Like, they would place you in that situation and make you special in that situation, and not leave you out and give you tidbits and give you mind games and shit like that. So, you know, that's not love. It's manipulation. It's yeah, it's fucked up. So don't ever feel like it's worth having to deal with. Don't ever feel like that. It's not. And also, if somebody's like telling you to change, because that was one of the things he was telling me, like, I want you to gain weight. I just want you to be bigger, thicker. Like, you want me to gain weight? Like, even if I wanted to gain weight in this relationship, it's no, like, I feel like I lost weight, honestly. There was no way it wasn't healthy. I was like losing weight. So, you know, he just filled my head with a bunch of lies. So, you know, I don't know which route that you want to take when it comes to like dealing with somebody like that. If you have to, if you are, and if you have to separate yourself back from it, my advice to you is take the natural courses of going through the process. You know, whatever you have to do, ripping paper, burning paper, throwing that stuff away, crying, of course, crying, venting, like, but when you vent, just don't vent to anybody. Like, vent to people that care. So if you came to this video, it's because you was drawn to this video in some type of way. You needed to hear the story, this message, so that it would resonate with you, okay? So I'm just going to wrap it up because I know it's getting a little bit too long. Plus, it's snowing outside. I haven't been outside all day. I've kind of been in the house. I just today, like, literally pulled myself up from, you know, the thoughts of him being with somebody else and, you know, like, just moving on and me still loving him so much. It's like being in prison. So, you know, I'm tired of being in that prison, and, you know, I was compelled to make this video, and yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna go outside, tackle the snow, try to get some food in my system, and, you know, see where else the night leads me. On that note, I just want to say thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, comment. Definitely want to hear your opinions. And on that note, it's Mary Jane forever. 420 forever. Good night, goodbye. I don't know what that means.